ANC Deputy Secretary-General Jessie Duarte will lead the mobilization of communities in Gauteng in support of changing the name of William Nicol Drive to Winnie Madikizela Mandela Drive. Duarte will launch an online petition for the name change. The governing party has encouraged all its structures to support the campaign. From the sound that we've been hearing on the streets, I think they have heeded to that call. eNCA's Govan Whittles is following the story. Let's cross over to you, Govan. What is it that you're seeing this morning? What's been said?
Good morning. Yes, there's a lot happening here. There's definitely a large contingent of ANC Women's League members who have showed up to support the campaign for the renaming of William Nicol Drive to Winnie Madikizela Mandela Drive. We had a brief comments from the Deputy Secretary-General a moment ago, speaking about the importance of renaming this particular road, which is named after the former chairperson of the Afrikaner Broederbond. He was the Transvaal Premier and named the road after himself. And the DSG saying that renaming it to Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela could unite the people of South Africa. She's called on the residents of this very affluent area to get behind the renaming, to support it, and to let this be a moment for uniting. But of course, this is a really big week for the ANC. They've started it off with the renaming of William Nicol, but there's a lot happening, and we'll talk about this with one of the National Executive Committee members, Nombula Mokonyane, also senior leader of the ANC Women's League and NWC. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. It's a big week for the ANC. You've started it off with this renaming, and by the end of the week, it'll be the step-aside deadline. Just tell us how things in the ANC leading up to that decision.
It's a big week for the ANC. We are busy with the by-elections, canvassing all the South Africans across the length and breadth of South Africa who will be participating in the next by-elections on the 19th of May. That's where we are focusing on. Secondly, today it's a day where we remember the passing on of Comrade Steve Duarte. Steve Duarte, who was a National Executive Committee of the African National Congress, as well as a minister in the new dispensation, but also the president of the UDF in the Eastern Cape, as well as one of our national organizers of the ANC. So we remember Comrade Steve Duarte on this historic day, where we are here on what is about to be called Nomzamo Madikizela Road, a road that Mr. Nicol named after himself. That's where the ANC is preoccupied. We're busy with our branch biannual general meetings to reactivate the ANC and prepare for the processes of selecting ANC candidates for the coming elections. We're hard at work.
Yeah, there are a number of things that are happening in terms of the elections and preparing ANC structures to campaign out there. How do you believe the internal workings of the ANC, though, would affect your ability to perform, particularly as the top officials have already received lists of people who are expected to step aside, and there's anticipation of seeing what will happen to the Secretary-General? Could this destabilize the ANC?
The good thing about the ANC is that when everybody wants to influence its agenda, it is able to redefine what it is about. We've been busy, hard at work, talking to branches in Limpopo, in the Northern Cape, and in Gauteng and everywhere. Everybody is preoccupied about setting up the new branches of the ANC after the hard lockdown. Everybody is content with the work that we are doing in preparation for the coming by-elections on the 19th of May. We are now preoccupied with the changing of this name that somebody named after himself. This is a stance we are taking to reconcile, to show reconciliation, to also demonstrate that South Africa belongs to all those who live in it, and of importance, to name it after a mother of the nation, Comrade Nomzamo Madikizela Mandela, who has gone through trials and tribulations, and the design and the structure of this road depicts the life of Nomzamo.
How is the ANC able to reconcile or unite South Africa when the party itself is so divided? And there are calls, or there's an NEC decision for action to be taken against so-called radical economic transformation groupings and them to be taken to disciplinary hearings. Has that happened, and how can you unite South Africa when the ANC is divided?
It is only the ANC in this country that has got its own internal processes of self-correction, of renewal, of disciplining its own members, unlike those that reject and dismiss those that they found of good use one day and today they found them irrelevant. We are preoccupied with self-correcting ourselves, and would like that South Africans must give us a chance and join us. Tomorrow will be Freedom Day. It is these freedoms that have given everybody to say anything and everything about the African National Congress. Our preoccupation: go out on the 19th of May, vote for ANC candidates. As members of the ANC, let's go to our BBGMs, let's renew our membership, and today, let's sign the petition and show the Democratic Party that we are a movement of the people of South Africa.
Ma'am, I understand you prefer to leave internal ANC matters to the ANC, but I'll ask it more directly. Do you know whether the Secretary General will step aside at the end of the week?
The NEC will still be meeting, and we are not here to discuss when is somebody going to step aside, because there is no date and number in the African National Congress, but there are processes.
Thank you so much. That's Nomvula Mokonyane. She's a member of the NEC of the ANC as well as the National Working Committee. I see that she may be answering a few more questions, but I think we're out of time on my end. We'll definitely get these answers as soon as we're done. Thank you.
And we'll be back then. Govan, thanks a lot for that.